Hi everyone, welcome to the 12th talk show. Today my coworkers and I were talking about whistling. And what I discovered, that was kind of out of tune, but what I discovered, I guess a few years ago is I could actually whistle by inhaling as well. Yeah. My coworkers were wondering, how is that noise created when you whistle? Where does that noise come from? And I actually learned this in my linguistics class. So it's very similar to how you create a sound like S. S. So basically, your lungs push out air right through your mouth, and by putting your teeth in an S position, you're creating a very narrow opening for air. So some air will go through, but some air will get like trapped by your teeth and will go backwards, but then you're continuously pushing some air forward. This causes turbulence from all the air molecules colliding, probably. I'm not very sure about the physics of it, but yeah, all that turbulence creates that high-pitched sound. So I imagine whistling goes the same way, except that the constraint you're putting is in your lips. And now, as for inhaling while whistling, um, there's still some turbulence that you're creating because you're sucking air in, but not all the air can go through the mouth very quickly. So it creates this turbulence. And there are actually some languages out there where you inhale to make this sound. Something like that. I am definitely not a native speaker of those languages, so it's very hard for me to produce those sounds. But anyway, that got me thinking, hey, why not do a tutorial about looking at sound waves and analyzing your own sound recording? So I got a tutorial ready for you. It's photo booth doesn't let me switch. It's not very sophisticated, so I pre-recorded it. So enjoy, and I'll see you later. Cool. I thought I'd give you a whirlwind tour of doing phonetics, and so let's start with the software. So I'm going to use Praat, and Praat is written by these two wonderful authors, and you don't even have to be a linguist to be able to play with your own sounds. I'm going to show you that eventually. It's free, so I encourage you to download it. So now let's take a look at this Praat window. So notice how we don't have any sound objects to play with. We can actually record our own sounds. Ha! Recording in a recording. So let me record something. Hi, my name is Dixon. So let's call this intro, play it once. Hi, my name is Dixon. Great, so now I get to save to list and close, and now let's see what this sound actually looks like. So it looks like this. On the top, you have the waveform, right? So when you create a sound, you essentially manipulate air so that it vibrates back and forth as a wave, and your microphone captures that wave. The bottom part is it converts the waveform into frequencies. So this is at a particular point in time. Here you can see that there's heavier, so some frequencies have a heavier representation than others. So frequencies in this range are heavy, while frequencies in this range are kind of light. And low frequency, high frequency. You can see that my voice, I guess I have kind of a high voice for male, but yeah, it's somewhere between 1,000 and 3,000 hertz. Yes, so let's look at the first word, hi. So I'm gonna highlight it here. So here's what hi looks like. Hi. Hi. Doesn't sound very enthusiastic, but the H is this part right here. And the reason why I could tell is H is an unvoiced sound, and voiced sounds have the bottom band very dark. So let's prove that I'm right. So you see the sound, that is definitely the H. And the top part here is a bit darker, but very spread out, because when you make an aspirated sound like H, which sounds like a lot of air, like the frequencies are very high and unpredictable. The voicing part sounds like a buzz. So when you hum to yourself, like the buzzing you hear is voicing, and that's your vocal cords clapping. I don't know if there's a better way to explain it, but yeah. So this is high, and the here starts the vowel. So the vowel I starts with an ah sound. So in this case, the two bands at the top, or the two bands at the top are how you distinguish the vowel, and then when your vowel changes, so do those bands. So hi, I. So you see the ah with the second and third bands far apart turn into the e with the second and third bands closer together. And that really has to do with where your tongue is in your mouth. And now we get to I'm, hi, mime. So I, hi, and then my. For M, you don't see the bands anymore because it's a consonant. But you still see the voicing because there's still the buzz. Like I said, it's the humming part. And there's quite a bit of high frequency here. It could be the noise from the echo. I don't know. But here's money. So it sounds like money. Anyway, I don't know the name of that song, but I hear it on the radio a lot. So here's my, and you can see that there's the same pattern, I. So the second and third bands are far apart, they go closer together. Now, N looks almost the same as N, actually. The only way you can tell the difference, I don't even know if you can. The top part is lighter because the N is clearer than the M. So versus I feel like you can. There aren't as many high frequencies here, so that's, I guess, how you distinguish. So here's A. Notice how this is different from I, in that A, the bands start closer together already. So that's name, and here's another M. And then here's where it gets interesting. So this small part is. So this is the I. Now we see the S. And this S isn't like S, it's like Z. So when I say is, I actually don't pronounce the S the right way. I pronounce it like a Z. So what's so cool about the Z is that there's so much high frequency going on because you're really constraining the area where the air can go through your mouth, but not totally closed like a consonant. So then you get this really turbulent sound. And then the voicing at the bottom just tells you that there's like a little buzz to go along with this turbulence. And you can see that my the Z part, only lasts about this long where the blue line ends, and then it sort of fades back to an S, which is very interesting. I didn't notice this about how I talked. Finally, we get to our first stop consonant, where all the airflow is completely cut off. That's why I don't see anything here. Dick. Anyway, for illustration purposes. So you can see that there's a stop and then there's a little burst, right? The burst, suddenly all the air is coming out. It's not like S where there's a constraint. It's completely open. So that's why you see a bit less turbulence. There's the I, and then it stops. X. So there's the I, and then there's the x, x. So the K sound is over here. You can see that the voicing sort of goes away for the K, and now here's the S, and there's no voicing. That's why it's instead of Z. Yeah. And you can identify the burst of the K here, I think. Yeah, right here is where the K gets released. And then N, and there's N. And that is how you analyze, hi, my name is Dixon. Let me zoom all the way up. Hi, my name is Dixon. Yay, done with this tutorial. You should try playing this with your sound and see how far you can get analyzing your own sounds. And I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Sorry this dragged on to like 11 minutes, but I had so much fun making this. I hope you'll have a lot of fun analyzing your sounds too. Anyway, happy Wednesday, and I'll see you tomorrow.